Hey guys, it's Sarah from A Wild Rumpus, and I'm really excited to talk to you today about planning your 2017 bullet journal. The first step, if you haven't bullet journaled before, or even if you have and you're looking to kind of switch things up a little bit, is choosing a book that's going to work best for you. And there's a lot of choices out there, and Jill and I have used a lot of different kinds of books for our bullet journals. But I changed things up a little bit for the last few months of this year using a type of book I'd never used before, and I'm actually going to start the year off using a variation of that book as well. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about choosing a bullet journal that works for you and how to do that. So first I wanted to show you how I started bullet journaling. So my first bullet journal was in 2015, and I started in this little book I grabbed at Target. It was spiral bound. I thought I would love that it was spiral bound. Spoiler, I didn't. I'm really glad that I started with this because I knew by about the first month that I definitely wanted to switch it up once this book got filled. From there, I moved on to Moleskine books. This was the Moleskine book that I used after the other one. And so, you know, they're delightful. This is a hardcover. I use grid pages. This is, you know, the kind of paper that I like. I love a grid. So the first two books of 2016 are in the Moleskines as well. The last quarter of this year, I switched over to the German named one. Leuchtturm? I don't know. Don't hate me for not knowing how to say it. There's too many consonants and too many vowels in that name. So it's a Leuchtturm 1917. If you delve into what I like to call the black hole of the BuJo world, you will find a lot of people that use these particular books. So I chose the grid book because, again, a girl loves a grid. But one thing I did not love about this book was at the top, it has this big white space, and at the bottom, a big white space, which to me is just a waste. I used stickers, that kind of stuff, to kind of go over the things that I didn't want. A lot of washi tape got used to cover stuff up. So while I really enjoyed the size of this book, there were some things that really held me back. So this year, I'm kind of switching stuff up. So I wanted to share with you, I have two fresh, clean books here. And I want to kind of talk to you about what the differences are and why I think I'm gonna love this one, maybe? I don't know. But let's talk about it and see, you know, what the difference between a Moleskine and a Leuchtturm is. So let's start with the Moleskine, since that's the book Jill uses and the book I've actually used the most. So this is a classic Moleskine. It's a large size grid notebook. I love this book. It fits inside of most purses really easily. It's super durable. These are great places to start, and if you love a clean slate and doing everything your own way, then this is a great book for you. So the book starts on a page where you can put your information, and then it is straight into the grid. Create your own index, which can be great or can be horrifying. It just kind of depends on how you like to do your bullet journal. So these pages are not numbered. You also have to number the pages. When doing a bullet journal, numbered pages are really important, especially if you're using your index. This book is great. You can fill it until your heart's content. So this was my Moleskine from, let's see, May to September, I think? Yeah, and it like barely made it. So it's pretty good. You can fill it up with all sorts of stuff. This is the way that I learned to bullet journal. So I am not a big fan of the grid book of the 917. So I actually am trying the dotted version. So the biggest difference between these books is the size. They're the same height, but with the 917 you actually get about an inch more of space. So that's really good for me because I tend to fill up pages. So this has a little bit more space, which I've actually found really useful. There's enough room to like do 2 pages or to do 2 sides and that kind of stuff, which I don't feel like I would have had enough room for that, especially with my meal planning layout, the way that I do it. I need all this space. I don't feel like I could fit all of this in as beautifully as this in a smaller book. So that extra inch does make a difference depending on how you do your layouts. So because the top of the grid book made me insane, like I showed you earlier, how it has just that wasted space, like I will decide where I write the date. I don't need you to tell me 9/17. I will decide. So I switched over to the dots. I'm a little bit nervous about seeing how this goes, but it's a fully clear page. It just has the dot. I'm pretty sure this book will last me the first quarter of 2017. The other thing I really love about the 9/17 is that the pages are numbered. It also comes with an index. There's 3 pages of indexing in here. In the few months that I've used this one, I've not even used a full page. So it's really good, actually. I like knowing exactly where it is. I was able to use the opposite page for my key, and I do things by color, so I can keep, like, I can look at my page for the day and know like where my focus needs to be. But I love that. It also comes with not 1, but 2 of the bookmarks, which I also think is really great because I was using like weird random stuff to mark things that I needed to go back to, or putting a tab on something that I didn't necessarily want to put a tab on. I always keep one of my bookmarks in whatever week I'm currently on. So here I am in this week. This is where this lives. And then I can, switch over to my meal plan and see what I need to do for that day. And then I put the second one on whatever day I'm on, so I can switch back and forth easily between them. Having that second bookmark is something that I have found useful as well. So Jill remains a die-hard Moleskine fan, and she'll be using a Moleskine in 2017 as well. But these are definitely great. If you've never picked one up before, I highly suggest getting one of each. But I will put some links into this post for you guys as well, so you can see how much they're going for and that kind of stuff. Also consider going to a local art store or someplace like that where you can pick these up. If you want to start your bullet journal on January 1st, which we highly suggest you do, then I would start now and get yourself whichever book you want to use to get started. We're going to be bringing you videos throughout the month of December about how to get your bullet journal ready for January 1st, how to make the jump into the bullet journal life, and the beauty of having no rules when it comes to your planner. So we're excited to share the things that we have figured out for ourselves, and we're excited to learn from you guys as well. We'll be giving you some free downloads of stuff that I have made for my own bullet journal. I love a printable, so we've got some printables and that kind of stuff. But welcome to the BuJo world, and I really look forward to sharing with you guys and learning more about it. So enjoy, and we will see you next week with putting together your 2017 bullet journal.